everyone? It's your boy Pred here, and welcome back to Dead Space the Remake. Probably going to be the final episode, because in the last episode, we got betrayed by Kendra, who I failed to mention this in the last video, really does sound very similar to Mila Kunis. Probably why I can't take her that seriously. Anyways, Dr. Kine's been shot. Turns out the marker isn't actually real. It's just some old EarthGov conspiracy thing, man-made, yada, yada, yada. And we're following Nicole to make us whole again. Which I have an idea is going to end badly for us if the general plot structure of the game has been going the way it's going. But with that being said, let's continue, shall we? Let's venture into the great unknown, as it were. Well, now. Nope. Yeah, probably gonna have to be relying on my kinesis quite a bit this episode. And that thing is probably up there, isn't it? More than likely it is. Of course, this stuff has to slow me down. Like I said, plenty of ammo to work with. Although I will say this last level so far really has been kind of a tedious grind and a slog. It's kind of reminding me of escorting the Little Sisters at the end of Bioshock 1, and I don't mean that as a positive, especially for anyone who's played Bioshock 1 who knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, that's not a pleasant noise I want to hear. Yep, it's a divider. Come on. Move it! Could you be any slower? And you've had your blinker on for the last 5 blocks. Yeah, as soon as I heard that dying infected whale song, I knew something bad was gonna come to me. Oh, look at that. The game's being generous with it because, well, yeah, basically this is the game saying, my guy, you better save. And so I am.
Isaac. Get the marker to the pedestal. Hurry!
Doing my best. Nicole. God, everything is just so disgusting. And sure enough. Get away, dude. Okay, here's a good question. Where do I aim? There we go. Well, at least the marker's actually working in my favor by slowing these guys the fuck down. That's nice. Well, not nice. It's an unthinking, unfeeling man-made monolith that has caused this entire mess to begin with. I don't really know if it has any sentience to know if it's doing anything nice or not, but...
Please, Isaac! The hive mind is coming! You have to make us whole!
Yes, 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 I hear you, I hear you. Okay then. Oh god. This is what I'm fighting against. The USM the USM Earthgov soldier. Wow.
There. Now reunited with the pedestal.
Kind of busy here, Nicole. Well, at least getting enough things to basically slice and dice is nice and fun. Yeah, that doesn't look ominous at all.
Thank you, Isaac. I always believed in you.
Nicole.
We're whole again. We are whole.
Emergency. Geo-orbital gravity tethers offline. Tectonic load released. Impact imminent.
Of course.
All personnel, evacuate immediately.
Payload. I'll restart the tether. Buys time.
No.
Yeah, I think you've just doomed us all. You've destroyed us all, Isaac.
Routing gravity tether controls.
Come on.
Great.
Forget it, Isaac. There's no fixing this.
Let her go, Daniels.
Let who go? Can't you see how delusional you are?
We've got to go. The payload from the planet Kraken is about to fall.
I gave you a chance to come around, Isaac. But if you still won't see it, I'll help you. One last time. Rig link override. This time, watch to the end.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here.
Yep.
I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing. Just had a talk. That's all this research was in the end. Not much, is it? Just had to make it listen when he begged for convergence. But I had a different prayer. It spoke. And then it listened. Make this stop, I said. Maybe it understood, but... I can't return what was taken. Why can't I see you again, Isaac? I loved you. I always loved you.
Yep, so they're going with the same choice from the original. Where it turns out she's been dead the whole time. So now the question is, the fuck's actually going on with, yeah, that has a lot more weight than it does.
She's Elizabeth Cross, that scientist from hydroponics.
Oh.
Pleasure to see. Jacob Temple for her, and Nicole for you.
Oh.
Jacob,
Oh, shit.
no.
No, she can't be. What the hell did you do?
You did this to yourself. Nicole's been dead this whole time. You just couldn't handle it, could you? Because if she's gone, at least now it'll be in safe hands. The marker won't turn anyone else into its puppet.
Famous
Give me the
last
alarm
words.
clock. No. It's over. We're whole again. For Christ's sake, I'm not going to ask again, Cross.
No, enough people have died.
Then just do it. I've got nothing left to lose.
Cross!
Oh, shit.
It's better this way, Isaac. You'll never recover from what the marker's done to you. And when the tectonic will drops, all this will be buried. Just like Earth God wanted.
Well, isn't that an interesting twist on the idea?
Activity increasing. Evacuate to safe location.
But at least it actually does fill in a plot hole in the original where if she was dead the whole time, then why the hell did her spirit have an actual physical effect on the world at hand?
I can still...
Now we know. It was another person this whole time, just leading you along. And the worst part of it is that we already saw Jacob Temple, and and Mercer fucking gacked him. That sucks. And honestly, even though I'm not really like sobbing uncontrollably about it, I will say thanks to the improvements in the storytelling, actually exploring this relationship deeper and deeper, seeing the highs and the lows, and the fact that Isaac is internalizing and actually being an active member, this twist is a lot more emotionally resonant now than it was in the original. So, props to you, Motive. I mean that sincerely. Props to you guys. Alright, let's see what else we can upgrade for one last time. Contact beam's done. Let's give her a little buzzsaw of death that's final love before we go off into the wild blue yonder, as it were. Save our progress for one last time, because if I remember anything from the original, I know what's going to come up, and we might as well just make sure that it all comes tumbling down, as it were.
Last warning, Isaac. I mean it.
Daniels!
There it is.
Got my hand!
Isaac.
Oh, shit! Yeah, just like the original. Holy fuck.
This is all I got left!
You tell him, Isaac. Here we go! The Hive Mind. The final boss of the game. Of which there are only 2. 3 if you count the Hunter. Pretty simple enough until he grabs us. Ow. Man, even now this thing is still pretty easy. Famous last words. Yeah. Those are some squishy sound effects. Come on, bud. What are you doing? I've shut out all your eyes. It's not like you... Oh, there we go. Whoa! That's it? Oh, once again, doing this bullshit. Come on, buddy. Yep. Once again. How is it that this boss fight is somehow easier than it was in the original? This oddly feels more anticlimactic than it did back in 2008, and that's really saying something. I mean, the design's improved thanks to the higher fidelity of the graphics, but really, it's fucking piss easy. Especially when you've got a fully decked out microwave gun like I do. Yes, I will still refer to it as the microwave gun. I've been playing too... You're talking to someone who played way too much Killing Floor 2 in the past. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's still not dead. Oh, shit. Wow, they really are gonna do this, aren't they? There we go. Now it's toast. Is it? No, it is. Whoa now. How disappointing. Yep, still the same wet fart boss fight I remember back in 2008. Or 2009, 2010. Somewhere around there, yeah. All right. Oh, he looks weird. Is that supposed to be what Gunnerite looks like in real life? I don't know, it just doesn't look like Isaac without the facial hair.
Isaac, it's me. Oh, I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
Different jump scare for a bit different with the jump scare, but so yeah, Dead Space the remake. Whew. Yeah, I really don't care about these people. Come on, let me fast forward through this just so I can get to the main thing of what I want to say. Wow, no wonder they gave you this fast forward option. I mean, holy shit, look at this credits list. Yeah, I'm just going through this. I really don't care about everything. I appreciate your guys' work, but I don't need to listen to the music and watch all this. Jesus H. Christ, how many people did you have working on this thing? That's a lot. That's a fuck ton. Alright, New Game Plus has been unlocked. Alright, so now that I've completed Dead Space the remake, how do I feel about it? I'll be honest here, I really fucking like this game. I love this game, actually. Big question, where do I even begin? First off, higher fidelity graphics and everything, very much appreciate that. That's always nice. The gameplay is still as rock solid as ever. They tweaked some things out there. A lot of the weapons have been buffed, so every weapon now feels appropriate. It just depends on what you want to what your playstyle is and how you actually want to go about it. The basic gunplay is still the same. I do appreciate the fact that they have that healing mechanic where you actually get to shoot the enemies bit by bit with the weapons. Not only does it enhance the gore factor of it and make it a lot more grotesque and visceral that they were trying to go for in the original, but probably didn't have the technology to pull off, but it also makes the enemies tougher, and it really does force you to kind of rely a bit on your inventory and how you want to go about this, and I really appreciate that. The expanded exploration effect, I really do enjoy a lot because in the original it felt very arbitrary. It felt very kind of forced and scripted. With this, with the locked doors, with security clearance and everything, and that Metroidvania kind of style of improvements, you know, it really did give you that chance to explore the fact that you could switch between all the spaces of the Ishimura, the fact that the ship feels interconnected with itself and feels much, and it makes the atmosphere and the environment that much more unnerving, I would say, more oppressive in a way, because kind of like the Spencer Mansion in Resident Evil 1, you know, the more familiar you get with them, the more interconnected and expanded it is, and the more secrets that there are, you know, it really does put you at that sort of ease of unending ease. No matter how well you memorize it, you're always at the back of your mind that there's something going on. The story, I really appreciate all the changes made to the story, and it's for much better because of it. I like the different characterizations that have their own distinct flavor, but are still very much in line with the characterizations from the original. I very much appreciate that. I like the fact that Isaac is no longer mute like he was in the original. They did take the page from the sequels and did give him more dialogue, expand his character quite a bit. And not only does it not detract from some of the mystique and the intensity of the original, it actually makes the story that much better, because the more we know about Isaac as a person, the more those emotional beats with regards to his relationship with Nicole, when we see it actually get expanded on and dig deeper, and we see the guilt and the self-loathing and the anger that kind of drives him, and the determination to do what's right in his eyes, it makes the emotionally resonant moments when you do find out the twist at the end and everything that much more impactful than it did in the original, because you do see this expansion, this progression of everything going on, and as a result, the what they were trying to convey is that much better for it. And Gunnar Wright still, it's like the dude never fucking left as Isaac. It's like he just stepped in. It's like he's just, it's like an old pair of work boots. He does not miss a fucking beat when it comes to his portrayal of Isaac Clarke. Dude nails it out of the park. Everyone honestly actually nails it out of the park. Even if I do have some little bit of things with some of the newer voice casts. I kind of prefer some of the older voices. I prefer some of the newer voices. But they all do a really solid job. I love the improved enemy design. I love the improved ship design. Gunplay is still solid as ever. I mean, the gripes that I have are minimal at best. There are some story beats and some little very subtle idiosyncrasies that I can pick apart that I personally prefer in the original compared to the remake, but that's again, that's just me being very nitpicky with very minutia kind of details in that sense. That's just personal preference. That's not a knock against the game. But I guess the big thing for me is that it's still not scary. I mean, I do certainly like. I will say this: I do think it is scarier than the original. I do think that there are some very effective horror moments in it. I do think that there are some very effective tense sequences in it as well. And maybe it's just me playing on medium. Maybe that, but it almost feels like the game is too easy. I mean, I only died to the enemies fucking once. Once. Throughout this entire game. I had so much goddamn ammo and credits at the end, I didn't know what the fuck I should do with them. In all honesty. Maybe it's different on hard. I should probably play this on a harder difficulty and get like a real tense challenge where I'm really having to conserve ammo. I'm really having to shoot for the limbs. Enemies are that much tougher. But on medium difficulty, it's a fucking cakewalk. And if I can basically blaze through the entire game, no questions asked, is there anything to be really afraid of? Not really. I mean, all the psychological beats are really nice and effective. There are some genuine moments of tension and atmosphere that's there. But the fact of the matter is that if I can raffle stomp pretty much fucking everything, and the fact that the game is that generous, if you go out of your way with regards to the weapon upgrades and the nodes and how much credits that it gives you and the ammo it gives you. Now, granted, I was stomping everything in sight, but again, even with all these caveats, it's still a bit too easy for me. Still a bit too easy, and therefore it's not really that scary. Now, I appreciate the fact that it's not fucking frustrating, like a certain other game I can mention, but at the same time, it didn't feel like I was against helpless odds, save for a few moments, just because I wasn't against helpless odds, because I could fucking nuke everything in sight. So the question is this better than the original? 100% yes, it is better than the original, because it has the same great core beats, core elements that made the original so good, and just expands upon them, irons out all the flaws, fixes everything, especially with regards to zero gravity. Holy shit, zero G is so much more improved in this game than it was in the original. It's not even fucking funny. It's not even fucking funny. So yeah, I would definitely say if you're going to play this versus the original, honestly play this because it just is the better experience in my opinion. There are some things from the original. I'm not saying that the original is inferior, but even still, this is pretty solid. Which does bring me on to my next topic. Do I like this better than the Resident Evil 4 remake? You bet your sweet bippies I fucking love this more than I do the Resident Evil 4 remake because like I tried, man. I fucking tried to accept Resident Evil 4 for what it is. And you know what I tried and you know what when I broke it down to brass tacks, you know what I found? I found that it was a soulless, watered down it was a soulless, watered down, shaven down dishwater experience that confused that thought that putting in arbitrary stupid mechanics that are that are way too goddamn punishing and making everything tougher and throwing the player in situations that most of them aren't equipped for while still trying to keep to some survival all in the name of survival horror really pissed me off. You know what it is? You know what? I'll say this. I will say this. Resident Evil 4 reminded me of the absolute worst fucking parts of the first Evil Within. A game that I didn't even finish because of how goddamn infuriating it was. That's what Resident Evil 4 reminded me of. It's like, you know, ammo starvation constituting challenge when the game is too action oriented to allow such a thing? Check. Vague and unhelpful gameplay mechanics meant to ratchet tension that actively frustrate and hinder your experience if you don't pull them off properly? Check. A bland, watered-down horror experience that lacks any distinct flavor of its own, barring a few ideas that are never expanded upon? Check. And this would all be fine if people didn't suddenly act like fucking Resident Evil 4, the original, was in some way inferior to it. To this grand remake that isn't really all that fucking grand. Yes, I know I'm going on a rant that's unrelated to Dead Space, but I'm trying to constitute my point here, so please bear with me for a second. This idea and that was what I was afraid of. This whole thing of, well, Resident Evil 4 is just better because it expanded the gameplay, and you're just blinded by nostalgia. Just shut the fuck up already. I don't care. You know what? May I be blinded by nostalgia? Yes. But at the same time, that doesn't exactly mean that my frustrations with the gameplay mechanics and my objections to some of the design and story elements in the fucking game itself aren't in any way, shape, or form valid. You know, and this is not me comparing it to the original, even if it is impossible. This is just me objectively speaking trying to take it as its own thing. The tone is confused because it's trying to pay homage to the original, but it's also trying to do its own thing, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The gameplay is fucking confused because it's trying to go for a more survival horror-oriented experience, and it fails on that at all fronts, especially with regards to the fucking crafting system that doesn't need to be there, the knife and parry system that really doesn't need to be there. The fact that knives are somehow degradable now because tension and horror and atmosphere. Ooh. You know, the increased health and bullshit enemy placements because, well, you can move and shoot now. Wouldn't want to make it too easy. Just fucking everything. Just so much wrong with Resident Evil 4 the remake. But Dead Space, but where I'm going with this is that this succeeds where Resident Evil 4 the remake failed for me, because it keeps the exact same tone that the original had without sullying and while managing to expand upon it and breathe some new life into it without deviating from what the core of the story was, which Resident Evil 4 remake failed at. It keeps the same core gameplay as the original and adds in new quality of life features without trying to make itself seem arbitrarily harder and more difficult and more frustrating in some vain attempt to ratchet up the tension and make it a more horror-based experience like the Resident Evil 4 remake does. It doesn't attempt to pad out the runtime via it actually progresses in a way that seems natural and fitting, even if you are a little bit overpowered, and doesn't manage to radically redesign everything from the ground up because, hey, it's a remake, it's new, we need to put our stamp on it, we need to differentiate ourselves, unlike the Resident Evil 4 remake. And it manages to do all of this. While even if you divorce yourself from the original, it still manages to come off as a complete solid experience that a newbie or veteran can appreciate to any form of degree, and manages to bring in both equal and an equal partnership that can please both sides at the same time. I don't like the Resident Evil 4 remake. Like, the RE4 remake, in my opinion, just does so many goddamn things wrong. Because, like I said in my video back then, it's trying to... It has this infuriatingly confusing dichotomy of, well, we want to keep to the original and not piss off the veterans, but we really want to do our own new thing and try and make it seem like a new experience, and it doesn't fucking work. Especially when you take into account that Resident Evil 4, the original, as a game nearly 20 goddamn years later, still holds up from a gameplay perspective. It's not like the original clunky survival horror oriented Resident Evil 2 going into the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's not like, there's a huge shift of dichotomy. That was literally 20 years from the original to the remake with regards to Resident Evil 2, and it shows. And it's why the Resident Evil 2 remake works so well. This is kind of, again, like Resident Evil 2, but without the radical restructuring. Again, Motive took everything that made the original Dead Space great, the design of the necromorphs, the atmosphere, the psychological horror, the dismemberment mechanic, the solid gunplay, the cool set pieces, the zero gravity, and everything that was good about Dead Space, minus the zero G. It gets rid of the bullshit that was in the original, like the clunky turret sections, the confusing zero G sections that are completely reworked, so you're not just going from one point to one point in a clunky, awkward mess. The buffing the weapons, everything. And it still has a distinctive style of flair to where, everything does kind of work in its own unison. There are moments in the original Dead Space that I still prefer to this one, but again, these are just minor nitpicks and personal preferences. It's not like the original is that fundamentally better to me as a game that I can't look at this and be like, I really do appreciate it's not the original, doesn't do this beat for beat, boo. But it still manages to keep the same tone and the same spirit as the original. So yes, play this fucking game. Please play this fucking game. It's a damn good remake. It's a damn good Dead Space game. It's a damn good survival horror game. Even if you are going to be an overpowered fucking behemoth at the end of it if you decide to go medium. Odd medium difficulty. Maybe play it on hard. I just wanted to get this out of the way because, hey, it's fun. But no, seriously, fucking play this game. Fucking play this goddamn game. Do it. It's awesome. If you're a fan of the original, you're going to enjoy it. If you've never played the original, you're going to enjoy it. If you just have any interest in Dead Space at all, enjoy it. And you know why you should enjoy it? Because it's fucking Dead Space, okay? This was probably one of the most promising horror IPs that I can recall being released in my lifetime. And then Dead Space 3 happened and everything got fucked up thanks to EA's insistence on chasing Call of Duty obsessed teens and goddamn microtransactions, and it pissed away whatever goodwill that it had. And when Visceral ended up getting shut down after making Battlefield Hardline, which I actually didn't think was that bad of a game, but I can totally understand why people didn't care for it, we just thought that Dead Space was done for. We never thought that Dead Space would come there. I certainly didn't think so. So when this remake popped up on my radar, I'm like, what? Huh? I was hyped as hell for this game. And it didn't fucking disappoint in the slightest. It did what I wanted Resident Evil 4 the remake to do. It took the same great experience that the game had, didn't radically alter everything, added enough enhancements, enough differentiations and twists to enhance the overall experience rather than detract from it. Iron out all the problems that the original had, thanks to, not just in terms of graphical fidelity and interior design and art direction, but just in terms of like the clunky gameplay mechanics that didn't sync right back then. And it does it all in a beautiful, fantastic experience, clearly made by people who have genuine admiration and love for this goddamn franchise. And you can see it ooze out of this fucking game. Hell yes, I recommend it. I paid $70 for this, just like I paid $70 for Resident Evil 4. And you know what? With Resident Evil 4, I felt like I got fucking gypped. I did not get gypped with this at all. Please, just stop listening to me ramble and go play it. And to anyone in Motive who somehow manages to come across this video, all I can say is thank you. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving Dead Space the second chance that it fucking deserved. Thank you for bringing this franchise back to the forefront after it being dormant for for a little over 10 goddamn years, and giving it the love and the respect and the care that Visceral had with the first two entries in the franchise. Thank you guys so much for delivering on a quality experience. And if you are going to remake Dead Space 2, please do. Please fucking do. Please make it just as good as this game, if not better. Okay? Just like, you don't know how happy this makes me, because I really did genuinely enjoy the first two Dead Space games so goddamn much for how they played, what they were, the uniqueness. Okay, it's Event Horizon meets The Thing with a little bit of Warhammer sprinkled in. What the fuck ever. But at the same time, it's just I just love this game. I genuinely love this game. There's not a whole lot bad I can say about it, other than outside of a couple moments it wasn't really that scary, and there are some moments in the original that I prefer to this, and the backtracking does get a little repetitive, I will say that, and the ending and the final chapter is kind of a wet fart after everything that's been built up, but that's just horror game stuff in general. But stop listening to me gush and just repeat myself in an endless cycle. Fucking play Dead Space. Fucking play this game, please. You will not be disappointed with this game. I highly recommend it, no matter what, because this game was just fan-fucking-tastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. But that is it for Dead Space the Remake, the Let's Play, the playthrough, whatever the fuck. And I still got about another half month to go. I have been thinking of live streaming the Cagliostro Protocol. I haven't heard that many good things about it, but hey, you never know. I could always end up liking it. But I do have that on the back catalog, so if you guys want to see that, feel free to comment down below and say, yeah, I would love to see you let's play the Cagliostro Protocol. I'm game for it. Maybe I can try another horror game on the backlot. Maybe I can try and get back into Man of Medan, even though I really don't want to at this point. maybe I could do it. Others, maybe I could just call it here and just be like, well, there's that. And I don't know. I'll think about it. You guys can comment down below and see what you want. If you want me to just leave it with Dead Space, or if you want to watch the Cagliostro Protocol, or maybe another game. Who knows? As for myself, there are going to be no video unless I get a definitive answer. There are going to be no videos in the near future for the rest of this month because this Let's Play is done with. Especially considering tomorrow I'm going to catch a late night screening of Saw 10 because I am a Saw fan, and I've heard nothing but good things about Saw 10. So yeah, I'm honestly excited to see it. I haven't been to the movies since I last saw No Way Home with the other two idiots I cohort with. Speaking of, my friend Chris is currently live streaming Baldur's Gate 3 with myself and Jack, so check it out on his channel, Shambhala117. And watch me play a Dragonborn Barbarian who is now just going to make it his life to chuck random shit at people. Yeah, that should put you at ease. Other than that, I've spent everything else. So like I said, it's the end of Dead Space the remake, the Let's Play. Thank you all so much for watching this series. I had a lot of fun playing through this game. I had a lot of fun getting through this. It was a great experience from top to bottom, even if I did end up leaving quite a bit of dead air and doing a lot of backtracking and fiddling about. But hey, wouldn't be one of my videos unless it did. At least I wasn't stuck on the same goddamn thing numerous times, so you saw the same goddamn footage numerous times. So that's nice. But yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your support. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch these videos. It means the world to me. For as little as I posted, for as little as I do, I've got nothing but love for all of you. So thanks for watching. And until next time, everybody, I will see you all in whatever comes up next. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and have a pleasant rest of your day. Bye!